Alright, now we'll be beginning CoP. For my one, we started with Offence. It was attacking the goal, and the specific skill that I was trying to focus on was pivoting itself. So what I had the participants do was to have one attacker and one defender, and the attacker can only use forehand or backhand strikes with the frisbee itself, and they were encouraged to pivot. The defender had to stay within the box, and if at any point of time the frisbee were to drop, they would switch their possession. Middle of the way, I tried to progress the activity because I thought like the participants were doing well. So I tried to make the playing field smaller for the defender so that the defender would be closer to the attacker itself. Yeah, is there anything I missed?
Okay. My first feedback is that the cones used as targets were interesting choice. Something unique to make do with our numbers also at the same time. Next thing, my area of concern is that I said that it was quite easy for the defender to defend because he could just be standing stationary in the way of the target, and he does not need to move. Yeah, that's what. That's just one.
For me, my area of concern is more of to since we are supposedly to learn how to pivot, the game does not have conditions or situations that place us in the situation to pivot lah. So like, because as Sufyan said, there was only one target. So when the defender just stand in front of that target, there's basically nothing that the attackers can do no matter where they pivot. So yeah, that's what I have.
Yeah, I think actually agree with us, like, I mean, cause frisbee, once you have possession of the frisbee, you have to stay stationary, so I guess that was like a no choice thing. I mean, with the limited amount of people that we have to do, so just hope that next week onwards got more people, then yeah, the lesson will be easier.
Can I get you guys to give me 3 recommendations that you think I can make towards making this a better game?
First one would probably be having more targets. So that would make they give choices for the attacker to aim lah. So that's when they will use the pivot to turn around. Since pivot is to have a 360-degree view, so if you can design a game in that manner, then you will encourage the players to pivot.
Second thing is maybe you can set a boundary where the defenders can roam around, but not too close to the defender, not too close to the cone, to make it fair for both sides. But yeah, just not having him stationary is good.
How to say that? Yeah. Just okay. So since the defender can roam around, make the target wider, the playing area a bit wider. So yeah, better chance.
And last but not least, another feedback is to not point out the technical skill during the explanation, because
Let us figure out.
let us figure out.
That was on my bad, but we will progress on.
Accidentally. Good.
I think we can move on to the second.
Okay. So for my game, me and Haziq planned that we were trying to focus on maintaining possession, and the skill we wanted the participants to apply is the off-ball handler to apply faking through feints. Our limitations or exaggeration that we did was firstly we had only 3 players, so it's 2 attackers and 1 defender, and the defender is we force the defender to man mark the off-ball handler. So the objective is for the attackers to complete 6 passes. If they complete, switch defender. If they fail to complete, also switch defender. The defender to switch is the attacker that should be switched is the last ball handler. So yeah, that's it. Play in a square boundary.
Okay. Overall, I think it is a rather good plan because in the previous weeks we have played a lot of these kinds of games through different sports variations, and I think it's a foolproof plan really. However, some feedbacks that I have for you is maybe during the explanation of the game itself, maybe you could elaborate more because at some points I was kind of confused. But you did make an effort to make sure that I understand. So thank you for that. That's a good thing on your part. Sherman,
Maybe I can ask you what were you confused about?
it was just the intersection thingy.
Okay. Yeah, thank you.
Okay. So for me, I like how there were a lot of variations of passes lah. So give the defenders more opportunity. It give the attackers more opportunity to pass. So in a way, it makes it harder for the defenders to defend. Maybe one recommendation is I think maybe the playing area could be a bit bigger, just like a tad bit bigger lah. It's because sometimes I feel a bit congested, like hard to turn, like very stuck lah. But good job.
Because I was a participant in the game, so like I think that the activity was very well planned out. Because the defender was forced to man mark the off the ball handler, right? So it really emphasizes on the off the ball movement of feinting the defender. But then with that, there is also the possibility of the ball handler not efficiently playing, so they could drag the time, or they could just waste time and all that stuff, take a fever. So like something that as Kai mentioned earlier, something that Dr. Coral has pointed out before is to have timing. So by doing so, it actively engages both of the attackers rather than only having the off the ball to do all the running. So I think that's all that we have.
One more thing. I also wanted to point out a good thing was how you represented the play. So instead of it was mostly because of our limited number of people also, but you were able to configure the game in a way so that your main focus was towards the off ball movement itself. So good job on that. I think that's all for Offence. We will see you guys in defense.